Well, Bobby, we finally did it. Disney is safe and now we can turn this thing around. What do I mean? Come on, Bobby, we've been losing tons of money. It's time to change how we do things. Oh, you already have an idea? Great, I'm sure it's gonna get the fans really excited. I could sit here and say that we all knew this was coming because we all did. We knew there was no chance in hell they would cast the Fantastic Four accurately, and here we are. Beta boy Pedro is playing Mr. Not So Fantastic, and Marvel changed their mind after seemingly ditching the idea of a female Silver Surfer. Julia Garner has been cast, and of course she's the Silver Surfer. Honestly, I feel like an idiot for even believing they would be smart enough to not go through with it.
I'm done.
Now, of course, the Twitter stans are going to immediately Google everything they can about a female Silver Surfer in the comics, and let me save you guys some time. There's not much to find. She was the Silver Surfer for about 4 pages in a 1997 miniseries, and in 1982, she became a herald of Galactus, who was basically a gold Silver Surfer, then went by the name Starbolt in a What If comic. Clearly, Marvel went with the most beloved and recognizable version of the Silver Surfer. I mean, screw decades of history, this chick had 4 pages and a What If comic. She's the obvious choice for the role. And of course, taking his spot isn't going to be enough. They're going to find a way to humiliate the Silver Surfer even more. If he's even in this movie, I'm sure this theory is going to be pretty close to what we see on screen. We know Marvel loves to subvert expectations, so what better way to do that than to do what every franchise has been doing over the last 10 years, give an obscure female character the story of a much better male character. As we've seen, that's gone really well for those characters. I mean, Rey and Captain Marvel are fan favorites.
What a terrible joke!
It's possible they somewhat follow the story where she was Silver Surfer for a total of 4 pages, and have both her and Norrin Rad be Silver Surfers. It's hard to believe Feige would allow the depiction of a strong male character, so the only way I see that happening is if somehow he becomes corrupted and she has to either kill him or strip him of his powers, making her way more powerful than that weak man ever was. It's much more likely they just throw him out of the story entirely and introduce her as the only Silver Surfer. The one thing I will say is that they picked a solid actress for the role. This chick has the most alien looking face I've ever seen, next to Anya Taylor-Joy, who funny enough was rumored to play the role a while back and honestly would have been a better choice. Clearly they wanted someone who can pass for a human, but just looks a little bit off, and she definitely fits that description. Now don't get me wrong, she still looks pretty damn hot compared to other borderline masculine actresses that Hollywood loves to push on us like Zendaya. But just like Anya Taylor-Joy, if you were to tell me she was born on Mars, I wouldn't really be surprised.
I guess I just don't care.
The more we learn about this movie, the more proof we get that Marvel has no intention of ever changing their ways. Before we even heard about the shitty casting choices, we knew this movie was in trouble because, as usual, the lead white male character was gonna be a punching bag. The role of Reed Richards was so toxic that most high-level actors passed up on the role. He was basically written as Sue Storm's purse boy who was holding her back from reaching her true potential. These weirdos love to talk about portraying characters kids can look up to, and man, what a great lesson to teach little girls. Men only hold you back from greatness. Let's all end the human race and never get married.
This is all about me. Me.
What a brave woman Sue is for sacrificing herself to be with a rich, handsome, powerful man. Such a strong girl boss. Apparently in classic MCU fashion, they're even gonna mock Reed's superhero name, calling him Mr. Fantastic in a negative and ironic way. I'm sure it'll come from Sue and be some dig at their sex life or private life. Why doesn't she just leave Reed if he's such a handicap that's weighing her down? I'm sure that's where the rumor about their kids being in this comes in, because I'd wager that's what's keeping them together when this movie starts. Maybe they rediscover their love by the end, which most likely means Reed understanding his place is beneath her as a weak little emasculated man obeying his mistress. No wonder they cast Pedro Pascal for this role.
Sounds like this guy. Fucking moron.
Now you could argue this is all a wait and see situation, but how much do we have to see before we pick up on their pattern? They do the exact same thing every damn time and still somehow think of it as some clever subversion. They are intent on ruining the Fantastic Four because as a family of 4 people of European descent, this team stands for everything these weirdos hate. A cohesive nuclear family of white people where the man is in charge is worse than the dirtiest slur in their minds. If they really think this is gonna go well for them, they must be buying into their own bullshit and pretending the last 7 years of this same nonsense hasn't lost them hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions by this point.